All right, welcome back to Comedy or Worse. Oh yeah, I'm here with my very special guest,
Art Bath.
Yay.
Hello.
Yes. So is that your full legal name?
That is my legal name. That's not a stage name.
Oh, okay.
That's a name. That's not the name I was born with, though. I changed it because I'm a control freak.
Oh.
I was born Arthur Cardillo, which is my father's name. I was a junior.
Okay.
And then I changed it because I just like, Cardillo, it's so ethnic. Everyone's gonna know I'm Italian. So I chose like just the cleanest, whitest, like Bath. It's like a nice neutral name. You don't get any ideas from hearing it.
Some people might picture you naked, but
Well, that's fine. That's what that's all right.
That's better.
Yeah.
But at least you're clean.
I'm naked and clean. You're gonna have to really shout because I listened to a couple of your episodes. You're so quiet.
I'm too quiet. God damn it!
You're
I don't even have a good microphone. So disappointing.
We're shouting this episode because we're not using the good microphone.
Yeah, this is just the crappy iPhone 15 microphone. But whatever. So how did you get into comedy?
I really like comedy. I really like listening to jokes. I like to laugh. I love to laugh, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, you're not like a lot of comedians who they hate laughing.
I know. They're like, oh, I hate laughing. Let's torture myself.
Yeah. Well, this is like it's like a Zen tantric thing for them as they expose themselves to something that they hate so much.
That's right.
But I grew up watching comedians. I think what inspired me to like want to make people laugh was that when I could make my father laugh, that meant that he was not angry, which is like a telltale, like, oh, I'm getting like a core reaction out of dad. Like
Wow.
he can't be mad if he's laughing, right? I think probably a lot of comedians' desire to do comedy comes from that, like get that automatic reaction out of somebody that they can't fake. You can tell when someone's fake laugh.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. That's great. So did you get addicted to doing comedy right away?
It's not. I haven't found it to be very addictive. It's very nerve-wracking.
Oh, he's not addicted yet.
It's
Oh,
very
okay.
nerve-wracking.
Hasn't done it enough.
How long have you been doing comedy?
This is year 6.
6 years. Have you been doing this podcast about that long, right?
Oh, I wish. I've had a podcast feed since like 2016 or something.
Yeah, I was scrolling all the way back to the beginning of it. I want to
Yeah,
see
but
how long you've been
it
doing
didn't. It wasn't this theme at the time.
Okay.
There was this app called this audio community called Anchor, and it was like a social media audio community where you would make a podcast, and then people would listen to it, and they would interact with you. They would send you messages, and you would listen to their podcast, and either they would have some kind of question or you would have some kind of comment about their podcast. So you would like message them, and then you could like easily include it in the podcast. Even though you published it, you could just like republish it, and or it'd be like the next episode would have it, and I got like thousands of listens.
That's back when the internet used to be more collaborative. Now it's all like siloed inside
It
of.
wasn't even that long ago. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah. It's like, what'd you say? Like 20? When did that be? Like 2019?
No, it was like 2016, 2017.
What happened to that? It's just gone now.
Spotify bought it and they just kind of just stripped all that stuff away.
Took the content, gutted it conceptually, and then just like packaged it in a familiar format.
They want people to just make podcasts.
Yeah.
And if they don't have a way to message people directly, they're like, oh, you figured that out.
Even better for Spotify. One less thing for them to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah, but this isn't a podcast about Spotify. It's about comedy. So what's your writing process?
I walk around my house and talk to myself like a lunatic.
So you record yourself?
No. Oh my God, Aaron, I can't stand to look at myself. I can't.
So you're not gonna watch this episode? Okay. That's
No,
fine.
no. I listened to Eric's episode, and I listened to one you had with Ashley Amber. I'm like, all right, you have a set list of questions that you like to use to keep the
Oh
conversation.
my God! Speaking of which, I haven't told anybody. This is breaking on the podcast. Randy Villarba booked himself on the podcast, and he's done the podcast before.
He booked himself. He called you. He's like, put me on.
Well, I'm trying to like make it easier for myself, and then like have like this list, like a private list on slotted to where you have to be invited to
Like
do it, and then you just pick a recording day. Like today would be one of the days.
Yeah.
It just happened that you got scheduled right before that, or just as I was trying to implement it.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So
he
you
booked
know
himself. He must have a big announcement or something.
No, and I didn't. I feel so stupid. I'm so old and forgetful. I forgot he was on the podcast. I asked him all the same questions over again.
He signed up. Oh my God.
But the funny thing is, the first episode was 33 minutes, and this next episode is like over an hour. So it must be better.
That's
right?
how much his craft has grown in that time.
He must like have elaborated on the questions.
He practiced. Probably after the first
He
episode,
heard
he
the
went
first
home.
episode, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so disappointed. I did not tell about this and that, and I'm like, this is another reason to do the podcast."
I
right?
barely expounded upon my artist's pain. Nobody knows how much I'm suffering.
Well, we haven't. How much are
But
you suffering?
He's got to get back on so that he can get.
Oh, you're
he
talking
can take
about
back
Randy.
Randy. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was crazy. I want to message him and go, like, why didn't you tell me that you've been on the podcast before?
Did you get a bunch of signups already?
Here and there. Next week I have 4 people.
Holy shit! On one night on Thursday?
Oh no, two max per day.
Okay.
I'm not a crazy person.
Yeah, that's
I'm not a
time.
professional podcaster.
No, I mean with this microphone setup.
Yeah, there's not even a microphone. Well, I usually have a microphone.
Have you been on other podcasts?
A couple, yeah.
There are people in town doing them, or you go all over, right?
I go to LA, I've gone to Orange County. I did an open mic or a couple open mics in San Francisco.
Oh shit!
When I was traveling. Have you ever traveled to do comedy?
No, This is the first place in the world where I'm trying out doing comedy.
Okay.
San Diego.
So how far into comedy are you?
I am 8 months. I'm a baby boy.
Yay! We like to have the people 8 years and 8 months and not 8 days. No, that's too small.
Aaron is grooming me. I'm going to be his protege.
Yeah, exactly. Like you just never know who's going to make it big, so you just have to try to have everybody.
Shake hands with
podcast.
everybody. Make friends.
I wanted every possible person to be on the podcast.
Everybody
one
has
at a time.
something
Don't be
interesting to
crazy.
say.
Yeah. Well, like I posted about wanting to get more people on the podcast, and then this very nice lady that's a comedy fan, and she's like, "Well, why don't you do it once a month?" And I'm like, "No, I would never get through everybody if I did it once a month."
I mean, maybe if you don't have a lot of people.
comics, I could do, in theory, I could do 52 comics in a year.
Yeah.
Especially if I don't repeat them. Randy, God damn it, Randy, it's all your fault.
You're taking up a young comedian slot.
You're taking advantage of me. I can't remember. What I have to do is like, oh, that person booked. Okay, go to my list.
Yeah.
Have they been on the podcast before? Okay. Well, I guess it was my fault because I accidentally invited him to the list, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I'll sign up."
Well, yeah.
I'll sign up. So it's partially my fault. Maybe it's all my fault.
You got a better episode out of him. Like
That's true. I think we solved it.
it's a good thing.
Thank God. Let's see. So I think I know the answer to this question, but I asked this question to everybody. When did we meet? Where?
We met at your show. That was the first time I ever did
At Quantum
jokes at
Brewing.
Quantum Brewing. Yeah.
Yeah.
At Comedy or Worse. Were you calling it that 8 months ago?
No, I think I I just all of a sudden got in my head, like, wait a minute, I should be pushing comedy or worse, you know, because that's a good brand, you know.
Yeah, it's a cute phrase.
Yeah, I really, the goal is, I'm gonna write it, actually, I'm in the process of writing a song. It's called Comedy or Worse. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's the first time I met you, was I went and did your show. I signed up back before Slotted. I just put my name into your iPad.
Yeah. This one right here.
That's when I first saw your pretzel joke.
Cool. So
it's been 8 months of pretzel jokes.
So you're sick of it. I get it.
I've heard it. That's every time you say, "I hope these pretzel jokes aren't going stale." I have a special laugh just for me.
That's exactly. I partially did that. It was like, I think the first time I said it, I was like, you know, the audience was getting tired of it, or I was thinking, oh, the audience about here is about gonna get tired of all these pretzel puns, so I gotta make a reference to it that is also a pun.
It's perfect. It's multifaceted.
Yeah, I think my favorite, but then we're talking about my pretzel joke. What's your favorite joke right now? Anybody's joke.
Of anybody's joke? Holy shit. Man, I am so terrible at that. Like, hey, what's your favorite movie? What are you watching on TV lately? Oh, fuck. TV. All right, TV is the thing. It's like the glowing rectangle you stare into. I can't fucking remember shit.
That's fine.
My favorite joke. My favorite joke that I can remember at this moment that like comes to me
Exactly.
is Mitch Hedberg's like, I used to do drugs. I still do drugs, but I used to too. Like, yeah, it's just, I love those little tight, perfect little jokes. I wish I could do those, but I'm like really long-winded.
Yeah, I'm feeling self-conscious. Let me see how much in the frame you are.
Am I peeking out of the front? Here, if I'm sitting like this.
Yeah, you're way out of frame.
Fuck!
There we go.
Am I gonna be good?
Yeah, let's just do the podcast like this.
It's cozy. I like that you're filming it in fucking TikTok mode.
Yeah,
Long
like, you know
ways.
why? Because one day I will actually clip out 1 minute or 59-second segments, and then we'll put it on the YouTube as a short.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Maybe this episode would be the first one. I mean, I think I did one, but then I stopped.
I didn't even check and see. There's a Comedy or Worse YouTube channel.
Yeah, but there's only one video on there that I was trying. I made with AI.
It's
as
just
an
you in the shower.
experiment. No, it's complicated. Let's not talk about me.
I have an AI experimental video online.
Yeah, go to Comedy or Worse on YouTube. You'll see it. It doesn't really make
There's
sense.
no way we can't talk about you. I'm so nervous about people grilling me about stuff that that's what I do is I deflect it back onto them. It's
That
like,
makes
yeah.
sense.
Oh yeah, you got a question for me. I have that same question for you.
Yeah. So are you gonna do crowd work?
I would love to, but I don't want it to be mean. I play with the crowd every now and then, and it's awkward. It's like first few times you have sex, you're just like, well, I think I'm doing it, and it's all right. Like the crowd seems satisfied with the crowd work I've given them, but
Yeah.
that's like I want to become a real pro at it, where I can just banter with the crowd, but not make it weird or antagonistic in either direction.
Yeah, you definitely want to not rely on crowd work, because there's, when you start doing comedy in the clubs, like they're like the headliner wants to do the crowd work, don't do crowd work. Sometimes, like, especially if it's like a crowd work comedian.
I didn't realize that that's like a privileged position. And
Yeah, you gotta
like
work your way up to
the
it,
headliner,
which is
earns
crazy,
it.
because how do you ever get there? You know,
Like,
but feel free to do crowd work at Quantum Brewing and bars. I mean, you almost have to.
there's
Just get the crowd like engaged. What was that?
that was a homeless person hitting a window because he's got a bad life.
Well,
He's taking his anger out on whatever he can find, and I'm fucking
you
feel that.
can't read that person's mind. Let's not try.
I'm psychic. I felt him through the window. Who bangs on a window randomly? Aside from
It
someone
was
who's
weird.
filled
It sounded like
preternatural anger.
It sounded like a tape measure.
Oh, like a snapping back.
Yeah. But also like hit the window with the tape measure. That's what it sounded like to me. So do you have any hobbies or passions that aren't related to comedy?
No. Not really. I'm
Here first.
I have a pretty simple life. Like I don't know. I don't really.
You don't consider tattoos a hobby?
I don't consider tattoos a hobby necessarily. Tattoos are just a way of projecting that you're cool to other people. It's like, yeah, I can deal with a little bit of pain for a couple of hours, and then get to be cool for the rest of your life. Like, oh, you have your nipples pierced? You must be so cool.
Yeah, especially when it gets hot. You're so cool.
Pop my shirt off.
The metal just
It heats up the nips. It cooks your nips from the inside
and
out.
you're like, oh my god.
No, what is like hobbies? What are hobbies? Like, oh, I ride my bicycle everywhere. It's my bike. My bike is in the shop.
That's crazy.
I love to ride my bicycle, but I'm not a bike guy. Like, you know, are you a bike guy? Is that yours?
No, that's not mine. I was riding my bike, and then I got a car again, and then I guess I was riding my bike when I didn't have a car. But what happened was I took over like buying stuff for the other location. And even though I'm not doing it all the time, I just was like, oh, I'll just bring my car just in case.
Right, in case we need to put something.
Because sometimes it's like, Robert's like, oh, can you pick up some waters for Madhouse? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, luckily I have my car.
Yeah, that would suck on a bike.
Well, then I'd have to like come all the way here, and then I'd have to get my car, and then go to the store, and then drop off the water, and then go park my car again.
Yeah, huge pain.
But if I already have my car, then it's easier.
No, I get it.
And it's not like even every day. I mean, I could probably go back to riding my bike. But right now, what I'm compromising is I'm riding my unicycle about a mile.
You are serious. You actually own a unicycle. You ride a unicycle.
Yeah, it's not here right now.
You travel on it. Now you're not just showing off. You're
moving
around the world now.
Yeah, you gotta show off as you do it. Otherwise, people are like, "Is that a unicycle?" And you just kind of go, and like they're like, "Oh yeah, you definitely can't." I mean, you can kind of go like that on a bike, but it's not the same.
No, not like that. Do you juggle?
Not when I'm riding to my car.
Okay.
So sorry. Sometimes I'm holding things.
I'm just wondering like how many clown abilities you have picked up.
I can do stilts. Started with stilts, then a pogo stick. Yeah. Have you tried? Well, I guess I could do no hands, 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 hand. I think one time we beat back in the 80s, we beat the all-time pogo world record, but we didn't really realize that we needed an official person from Guinness there.
Oh shit.
So, and we didn't record it.
Well then.
So we're kind of. Plus, I'm sure someone has beat it by now.
It was the 80s, probably everybody was beating it all the time, and they're like, fuck, we should have recorded this.
Yeah,
I wish I got a
should've
dad's camcorder.
Probably what happens is you record it, and then they're like, okay, we believe you, but you got to do it again in front of the judge.
Yeah. And then
you're
all
like,
the
oh
pressure.
my god.
What was the record then?
It wasn't that long. I mean, but the thing is,
It was 100 pogos.
no, I mean, it was hours, but it was like, I don't know, like 4 hours, something crazy. But the thing was, we did it for so long that it wore out the pogo stick.
So by the end,
By
there was
the
no
end,
spring.
it was just like on its way out. Like, oh man. So
Just
okay, that
hopping
was
on a
fun.
stick, like on a stationary stick with
Yeah.
no spring.
Yeah. So it was just like we lived in a court and we just started with stilts, and it just was like the circus race. Who can do it the best? And then it was like, oh, the next thing, and then finally someone got a unicycle, and I have to have a unicycle.
And that changed your life.
I had to have a unicycle too. It was so hard to learn. I learned on like a toy
It looks
unicycle.
impossible. It looks
Can you
impossible.
imagine, like, I'm already almost as tall as I am now, and I learned on like this Sears catalog, tiny, like 16-inch wheel unicycle that the tire didn't even have air in it. It just was a solid tire.
Oh yeah, okay.
So, and I learned how to ride it, but then it just, was worn out. So I, had to get a better one.
Are you from the burbs?
Santa Rosa, yeah.
I don't know where that is. Is that around here?
An hour more north of San Francisco.
Okay.
How about you? Where did you grow up?
The suburbs of New Jersey. I lived in a little town near Newark. You've probably flown to my airport at one point.
No, I don't fly that far.
Okay. Well, that's
Not yet.
Whenever people have to go to to New York City or beyond, like go to Europe, they always have to stop at Newark Airport, and that's all anybody ever knows about New Jersey is that their airport is like really shitty.
Okay.
It's a really unpleasant place to be. And they just upgraded it from being like a shitty place where there's no place to eat or go to the bathroom to being like super high-tech futuristic place where there's no place to eat or go to the bathroom.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know, very exciting. Like in New Jersey, welcome to the 21st century. You order your chicken nuggets on an iPad now.
No way.
But yeah, Jersey's where I'm from.
Yeah. So what was your family like growing up?
I had a nice, like, nuclear family, a mom and a dad. Radioactive dog, half a cat. Yeah, a sister, a little sister. I was the oldest by 2 years, and not that there's more of us. That's it. It was me and my sister. So we had like the traditional, like mom, dad, son, daughter, dog.
Yeah, that's 2.5 kids right there.
2.5 kids, house with a roof, garage where you put in all your like power tools and shit.
Damn.
Suburban life. I have that same memory that everybody that grew up in the burbs has of like, we used to get to stay out late and play stickball and ride our bike until the streetlights came on.
Yeah.
It was the Goonies or whatever.
So do you think you're like a latchkey kid or something?
I was a latchkey kid. My parents worked 100% of the time. My parents were at work constantly. They were always, because they were blue collar people. My dad was a pressman. He ran a printing press, like a 2-color printing press, and he sat there all fucking day long changing plates and like putting chemicals into the machine and like mixing ink and shit, and sat there like turning a crank all day on this ancient device to print like businessman's business cards and flyers and shit. And my mom,
Why didn't you get somebody to turn it for him?
why don't we make a computer do it? That's what they were telling him was gonna happen to his job since the 70s. Like, oh yeah, a computer's gonna do it in no time. And he did it until the day he fucking retired. He turned that stupid
You
crank.
just made it,
Yeah.
right?
My mom was a manager in that same print shop. My mom, when I was a kid though, worked at McDonald's, which
Okay.
was the best. It was the best because she would always have McDonald's.
They served real food back then.
Not really. It's the same food. It's the
What?
same
I thought
food.
they perfected it, made it more artificial.
The food today is the same food you got in 1993.
No.
Chicken nuggets haven't changed since the day they were born. I was thinking about that recently.
It seems impossible.
Is
It
that-
feels like they've become more artificial. Or is it just because I've gotten older and realized how artificial it is?
Now you know what chemicals look like. You're an adult and you've played with Lysol and Windex and all that shit, and you're like, oh,
I made chicken nuggets by accident.
yeah,
I didn't even use chicken.
that's not good. I hope you didn't eat those.
Oh no. I knew better.
The food hasn't changed. I was thinking about it recently. Me and my girlfriend were talking about it. Like, if no one had ever invented the McDonald's hamburger, and then somebody today invented it and said like, this is a hamburger I invented, we would be like, that's gross, dude. That's a fucked up hamburger.
Yeah, I think what you need to do is just break the cycle. Well, because like, it's a nostalgia. Well, and the marketing, the kids probably want, if you didn't grow up with McDonald's, say I had kids, I didn't like McDonald's, they would want to go to McDonald's and I would give in and go to McDonald's, and then they would have nostalgia about it and they would take their kids.
Yes, and then
But I'm part of the process of trying to break that nostalgia about McDonald's, and if I have kids, I help raise my niece, sister's kids, and I avoided McDonald's.
You won't let them have that.
I mean, I had to
experience.
sometimes, but just, yeah, it's not good food. Why would you torture? You're supposed to make the kids healthy.
I have the opposite thing. I'm not gonna have kids. I'm
Okay.
vasectomized. I'm like committed to not having kids.
Oh, okay.
I-
Is that expensive?
No, it's $125 down at Planned Parenthood. You just come in, you're like, hey,
No way.
can I get a vasectomy? Cheapest birth control in the fucking world, and it's reversible. If you decide later you want to have kids,
But it costs you $250.
the reverse vasectomy costs $250,000.
Oh, damn it.
$125 to get snipped, cheapest birth control in the whole fucking world. Highly recommend.
Do they make you freeze some sperm before they'll do it?
They don't make you do it. You could do it if you want. That would be way more expensive, I think.
Yeah.
I think that because then somebody has to keep your cum in a freezer forever, and that's gross. So I would charge an arm and a leg for that. But I'm not gonna have any kids, so I don't have to worry about whether I'm contributing to the cycle of pain.
You could be cloned without your permission.
That will happen. But that'll happen to all of us, though.
Do you think the robots are going to clone us?
My MacBook's been watching me. I think it's making a digital version of me. Like,
I
it's reading all
think
the
you're
emails.
going to accidentally agree to it in the terms of service real soon.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've sold my soul 1,000,000 times over.
Did you make any money?
No, it wasn't worth that much apparently.
Damn it.
But my sister has kids. My sister is 2 years younger than me, and she is about to have her 4th son.
Are we cutting her off?
I can't cut her off. Her and her husband keep on making more fucking kids.
So she must be able to have more. She's probably young, right?
She's 33. She could
Okay,
have
she
kids
definitely-
for years.
Some people start at 33.
Yeah, she started when she was like 26, I think. She had her first kid. And they're all boys. It's all Y chromosomes.
Oh, that's why she keeps doing it. She's like,
give me the girl.
Gotta get a girl.
I gotta get a girl. I need to throw some of these sons away.
Has she thought about having sex with other people?
No, she has
Because
not.
I hear that the sperm has a lot to do with the sex of the child.
My sister's husband's sperm is just all boy sperm.
Well, I mean, the boys' sperm's just way better swimmers.
I guess so. But when I go visit them, they're on like a strict libertarian, like we only eat kale and broccoli and stuff we grew in the garden, like just in case the grid goes down and like all of the civilization just melts off the face of the earth. We know how to like grow our own food, we know how to pickle it, can it, jar it, preserve it for eternity. And they're like, you're eating whole grains and you're eating like full-blown B12 vegetables and shit.
Okay,
And
well,
so they don't get to go to McDonald's. And then when I visit,
Well, they should really have a hydroponic garden.
they should. They don't do any drugs.
No, I mean, you have a hydroponic garden, then it's easier. It's like inside a steel building, so if the world.
Oh, you didn't mean weed.
No, why would you don't have to just do weed for a
I
hydroponic
didn't
garden.
realize that there were other things that could be grown hydroponically. I thought that was a weed thing only. My bad.
You grow soybeans and.
Oh.
You can. I think you can grow almost anything hydroponically. You just have to have the right setup.
I'm realizing now that I don't know what that means. Like something to do with water, presumably.
Yeah, inside, it has the right temperature and all the nutrients in the water. Let's just look it up later.
I'll Google it. Wait,
I mean, it's not like I know so much about it I could do it myself. It just, I know that we're not using the resources. The problem with land is you plant something, but what about all this space up here? Right?
I mean, the space
If you
that
have
trees
a
would take
good-
up?
Well, no, higher than the trees.
Even, okay.
Yeah, higher than the trees.
But the stuff
There's
that's
no
on the ground.
fruit-bearing trees that are like hundreds of feet tall. Why is that?
That's a great question. Fucking the mighty redwood doesn't bear any fruits, does it? Aside from the little acorns it makes new redwoods with, right?
I think the pine tree, you can eat pine nuts.
Delicious, yeah.
So there, I
Just
guess
like
there's
straight
one
onions
example.
to me.
Jesus, fine.
But if you
All
put
the time.
there's a problem with the stacking though, is that then the plants on the bottom don't get any light. This has become a hydroponics podcast.
No. You have lights over all of it.
Well, we could, okay, so like an indoor stacked
Yes, indoor.
vibrarium garden where every level is covered in LED red and blue lights that make the plants grow.
Yeah, you just watch videos on how to do it. Buy all the right equipment. You should tell your sister that she needs to get on that.
I feel like we should be telling farmers this. So why haven't farmers figured out this amazing hack?
I think that it's just as of right now, farmland is cheap enough that it doesn't make sense. I think, but you have to grow. You should grow the food closer to the people, right? If you have,
Yes.
if say every other level, or like the bottom level is like a general store, right?
Okay, we got
And
retail
then-
on the first floor.
And then you got maybe the managers on the second floor that run the place, and then
Where
then
they
you got
live,
some,
we're combining housing and growing.
yeah, and then you got like a little bit of food, and then you have some more people. You just kind of stack it, so you're never that far from your food.
You never leave the block. You don't have to cross the street. You don't have to get hit by any hyper cars from the future. It's like there's food being grown on the base level, being sold on the second level. You live on the third level. Your dentist is on the fourth level, and then you are also
Yeah,
you're a
everybody
dentist
works from home.
and you work there at the dentist's office.
Yeah, because it's hard to do your own teeth.
I mean,
That's why.
I think Dubai had this idea. Have you seen that shit? Fucking pictures of like
Yeah.
of Dubai.
But they tried to do it too big. That was the problem. You got to start small.
too spread out. They should have done it all in that one giant building. I bet
It
that
doesn't
is.
have to even be that giant. It just has to be big enough to go. You have to. I don't know engineering, but you could build a one room and build stories.
You could
have to have
absolutely.
some kind of elevator and stairs, so you have to make it bigger than one room.
There are skyscrapers in this city. I used to work in one of them. I used to work in a tech company that was on like the 10th floor, and it's all
Yeah.
just like empty spaces that you can turn into whatever you want. You can
Yeah.
turn it into a farm or a dentist's office or whatever. They're
Yeah.
big enough that you could foreseeably put an entire person's worth of living into that building, and they would never have to leave. And that's what they're gonna fucking do with like Elon's Mars colony bullshit. Like, oh, it's a mall that you live in.
Right. I mean, you still should go outside.
You can't because it's Mars, and your skin will explode.
Well, I mean, you just gotta wear the right protection.
You can always wear a rubber. You want some whiskey?
Oh, I'm good. I got my drink here.
Is that whiskey too?
Yeah, it's the sequel to whiskey.
It's the sequel.
It's whiskey too. Sorry, I'm just addicted to puns. I have to do them in wherever I see them.
If you catch one, just use it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they bring the world joy.
Exactly. So do you wish you started comedy earlier?
Easily, absolutely. Like, I was afraid to start. Like, I'm sure many people experience. Like, it seems like a form of grammar that you just, how will I get to know all of the notes that I need to hit? How will I build up the courage to like talk in front of people? Because that's not a normal part of everyday living, typically.
No.
But it was scary. Like,
Yeah, sometimes you just hide your face when you talk.
so yeah. Wear a hat on stage, like turn face the wall, like let them see your back.
Yeah.
Wear a paper bag. Andy Kaufman did that shit. He wasn't even scared.
Yeah, he was just doing it for fun.
It's for shits and giggles. Were you nervous when you started?
No, I was doing the podcast and it's like, oh yeah, I'll just do what I was doing on the podcast, do a character. And the problem was it was something that was better audio than watching me do it.
Oh,
It was a little freaky.
did you try at some point to do like a live in-person version of it with an audience?
Yeah, like I had this one character called Scare Eye where I was reading astrological signs, horoscope.
Horoscopes.
But it was scary, but it was supposed to be funny, so it was like horoscope. And I tried to do that on stage, and it didn't really work. It was like what people were like, what is he doing?
You were reading people from the audience?
I mean, I was getting the feedback. People weren't really laughing. They were just kind of uncomfortable. But it was a comedy contest, and I actually got votes. But
Nice.
But it didn't move on. That's I've told this story before. Damn it! Stop it, people.
Stop reusing content. Except
So
that's.
what are your goals in comedy?
This is it. I wanted to be on this podcast.
Oh,
And
no.
I'm done after today.
He's retiring, everybody.
That's it. Bye bye. 8 months and done, like they say.
Yeah, he's a premature baby.
I'm not an ambitious person. I don't have goals in my career or my work career. I'm not gonna have them in my comedy career. I don't want to write for a show or be famous or like play big rooms or tour or anything. I just want to. I like being a member of like a little community where I know the folks and I make them laugh.
Yeah, so here's that San Diego can't get any bigger.
That's it. It's the tall poppies philosophy. You know, like anybody that's like too strong, we cut them down.
No, we just force them to move to LA or something.
Honestly, I kind of like that about San Diego. It's like if you're of like Hollywood caliber comedic prowess, the gravity of LA will just suck you up there, and you'll go right for a sitcom or some shit, or you'll do rooms up there,
Or you just go wait tables.
or you'll wait tables because you've got that kind of ambition. Like I'm waiting to be discovered. I'm working on it.
Right.
You go up there. You actually go to LA and
Yeah,
do
it's
shows.
fun. I
bet
do
it
open
is.
mics. I've done one show. I did someone else that was booked on and said, I'm taking my friend, and they're like, okay. Actually, it's a funny thing. It's like Universal Bar and Grill, and then the second 2 times ago we went to LA. We just ended up at the open mic there, and then the last time we went, we met people that we had met at that place.
Like
So
the
that was
community's
cool.
weirdly small there, even.
Yeah, I mean, it's just odd statistically. Like you go up there here and there for years, you know, you're just gonna run into people.
I used to live in LA for a couple of years just because I was curious, and I lived right near like the Yard Theater, which is owned by John Ennis. He was on Mr. Show.
Okay.
And it was so weird. I would go see shows at this theater, and they do comedy nights, they do like showcase shows, they do plays,
Yeah.
and it would be this weird like cavalcade of the same faces over and over again. And some of those faces were like, oh, this is someone who's I would consider famous. That's a famous person.
Yeah.
Which made the idea of ever me doing comedy seem even more like, oh, okay, I get it. Comedians, there's like a set group of them, and to like latch onto that gravity would be really hard.
Yeah.
But here it felt like a little more welcoming, I guess.
Yeah. So, if I remember correctly, you came to a comedy show before you did it, right?
Yeah. I came and saw the show. I'll do that. Before I'll perform anywhere, I have to like know what the landscape looks like. I'm a nervous man. I'm a nervous guy, so it helps me feel comfortable in a space if I know, like, all right, this is how it's laid out, and there will be people here, but not people there, and there's the bathroom. it makes
I
me
know where
feel
the bathroom
comfortable.
is.
Like if you bomb, you have to go run crying to the bathroom, so it pays to know
Yeah.
what direction to run.
It helps if you wait to cry once you're in the bathroom. Otherwise, it's like, stop performing. You're off the stage. I've seen it happen so many times.
When you run a tough room like Quantum, man, you're gonna break some hearts.
Oh, it's an easy room. Email comedyyourworst@gmail.com if you want to be booked at Quantum Brewing, which is in Kearny Mesa, which is in San Diego County. Just look up the address.
Which is in the state of California on the United States.
Which is still on planet Earth as far as we know. Alright, see, I already asked you that one. Do you have like a favorite?
Ask me it again, see if I have a different answer.
You might. It's about your favorite. Here's a new favorite question. Do you have a favorite fan interaction? Like someone said, "Oh, that was great,"
Oh
or
my God,
Or you're a fan of somebody and you got to talk to them.
Okay, that's good. That's awesome, because I definitely don't have a fan interaction where somebody is a fan of me. I'm a baby.
This should be your favorite fan interaction. I'm a fan of your comedy, and that's why you're on this podcast.
This is officially my favorite fan interaction of all time. Right now, is
Hell
you
yeah.
telling me that.
It's not even over yet. He's already. Oh my god! I can't screw this
I
up.
can't wait till we get to the roast part. My favorite fan interaction is this. Do you know Brett Weinbach? He's a comedian. I believe he lives in the Bay Area, or maybe he's in LA. He's been around for 20 years or so.
I don't think I know him.
Brett Weinbach, he's very deadpan, very very dry.
Yeah.
And he used to play at that theater I was talking about, the Yard Theater. I saw a show that he was in, and I knew something about this man from his personal life, which is that years ago he had been playing in San Francisco, where my friend Logan used to live.
Okay.
And she had gone and seen him do comedy. He did a great set, made everybody giggle. And then part of his set was, at the end, he said, if you really liked my comedy, I've got a sign-up sheet in the back where you can sign up to go on a date with me.
Wow.
And Logan was like, that's fucking hilarious. I had a really good time watching this guy do his thing. So she put her name on the list. Apparently she was the only one. And he actually called her, and they went on a date. And they had a really nice time, but he was a very weird guy, like many comedians are.
Sure.
So they went on one date. It was very pleasant. And then I got to, having known this guy for 15 years from watching him on TV and shit,
Yeah.
I got to approach him after the show, which I would never have the balls to do unless I had something interesting to say. And
Right.
say, hey, do you remember going on a date with my friend Logan? And he actually remembered it. And he remembered that he sniffed the chair before he sat down, and that she was playing video game music when he remembered the date like vividly. It was
Wow.
cool.
That's cool. So that's your favorite fan interaction?
Look him up. Yeah, the fact that I actually got the balls to talk to somebody that I'm a fan of.
Yeah, you had something to talk about. That makes sense.
I'm not gonna just come up. Like, I find so many comedians, even like I love Jake Worldwide. Has he been on the podcast?
See, this is an embarrassing part. I don't think so. But
That is embarrassing.
I really should look it up.
What kind of podcast is this?
This is why you record, is so you don't have to remember.
Yeah. Siri.
It's not that I don't want to remember.
Has Jake been on my podcast? I love him. I love his jokes. He's so fucking funny. And as much as I love every time he does a set, I feel so stupid just going up to him after the show and being like, I really loved your jokes. I ha-ha'd a lot. Even though I'm sure he would like that. You know?
Right, but he also has the, it's I don't know, I can't speak for him, but I think a lot of comics would be like, what is this, a trick? Like,
Yeah, are you trying to get my
are
social security
you
number?
roasting me right now? Or they don't know how to take compliments,
I'm
I don't know how to
in league
take
with those
compliments.
people. If somebody tells you that I really liked your set, you're like, why are you roasting me?
Yeah.
I feel that.
And then you tell them to repeat back the joke.
Well, if you liked it so much.
And then they like butcher it. You're like, you like what's in your head, not what I actually
You
did.
liked what you heard.
Yeah. So maybe this is going to be hard for you, but what's your favorite place to do comedy?
It's at this brewery called Quantum Brewing on Friday nights, 7:30 p.m. It's a
Like
show
Saturday,
called
yeah,
Comedy
yeah.
or Worse. I have not been to the Saturday
Okay,
show, and I never saw the
right.
Thursday one either. But
Well, came and went.
I'll
Missed your chance.
come check out the Saturday. The Thursday was the banger. The Thursday?
Really?
No, I don't know. I have no
Oh.
clue.
No, we should switch it to Saturday to hopefully make it be better.
What is that man's name? The man who owns
Martine.
Martine. It's always him. It's always just him working there.
Yeah, I at first I didn't really realize that. I mean, it's great in the one sense because he has a good sense of humor, but I feel bad for him. Like, hearing people's jokes over and over. You know what is the best? When they're so busy that he's just serving drinks,
Yeah.
he's not having to listen.
Yeah. Like,
That's the best.
and that's the synergy.
I try to go up when that happens.
So he doesn't have to hear the pretzel joke anymore. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's like inventing those beers, right?
Yeah, I think one of them he had AI do it.
Oh God.
But he tasted it first.
Yeah,
Just to say, oh, your AI made
It
this.
didn't taste like arsenic.
And then, well, I mean, he's a chemist, so he would know if he
He would
was
know.
trying to.
Whether he was putting bitter almond in there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good spot. How did you get the show started there?
Like I remember before I had that, I would ask people, how'd you get your booking, your spot? How did that happen? And people were just, oh, I fell into it. The same happened with me. The mic drop was having the open mic, and one week I went in there, and there was a poster that had, the day before there was comedy, and I was like, oh, okay. And then the next time I went, the next day was comedy. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ask this guy, hey, how do you get on this comedy thing? You know, and then, just all of a sudden I'm like, he's like, I felt like he wanted, the way he said it, oh, it's only once in a while, and I was like, oh, well, I'm a comic, I could have it every other week or something.
Would you be open?
I can't even remember exactly, and just we're like, okay, we'll try it. It's always, when we make changes, we always say, let's try it, but we usually do pretty good about, nothing we tried has totally failed. I mean, I guess you count Thursday, but I felt it was successful enough to keep going, but football started again, so.
You used to have a guy come in and play on his keyboard. What the fuck? That was awesome. Like, comic would make a joke, and the keyboardist would go, meh, meh. That shit was awesome. Who was that guy?
That's Kent-Bradley. I mean, he might come back and do it at any time. So when I first got the place, I didn't have a car at the time. I didn't have equipment, and I'm like, oh shit, I really got to figure this out. So I was friends with Micah and Kent and Bradley, and like, hey, you guys want to get equipment together? So Micah drove us over to the Guitar Center, and I paid for it, but then they paid me back pretty quick, and so it's really partially his equipment there, So I just kind of like, he's also my friend, so just kind of like, oh, you want to play piano? Oh, okay.
He just lose interest in doing something on a Friday night?
I've known him for years, even before we really became closer friends, and he was just like, sometimes he gets busy with work, so he can't do comedy, so that's what's going on right now. He's too busy making money.
Good for him.
Yeah.
But
So-
he was real additive to the show. That was great.
Yeah, definitely something fun, different. There were definitely a few comics that would be like, hey, you stepped on my punchline, or like,
or
or
you
you
made me
have to,
look like a
like-
jabroni.
yeah, you have to like let, it's almost like a crutch too, because you have to like let them fail, and to get better, they have to actually fail all the way on their own,
Maybe, I don't know. I think you could still feel the failure if you were up there and you did a joke that just blew it. Like, the audience hates it, and then the piano man makes fun of you sonically, and then the audience laughs. You're like, got it. That joke was not right. At least for this audience in this context and the way I set it up, it wasn't good. I can learn from that as well as I can learn from
absolutely.
perfect silence.
Okay, but I don't know about anybody, but sometimes I felt like there were certain comics that were like using it as a crutch too. So, because you can't just have it everywhere, like that's not gonna help you. You have to like be able to. It has to be repeatable, right?
Yeah, unless you're willing to like start to bring a yak back to your set, and then when you blow a choke, you play it into the mic.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
Oh, you don't, from the 90s, those little fucking plastic things that were called yak backs, and you record a sound into them and they'd play them back on demand. My bad. Sorry, very specific generational reference.
I want to get a loop pedal. I want to learn how to play guitar. I want to do more comedy songs. And
what's your hurdle to getting into guitar? Guitar is like right there. Everyone has a guitar. You have one at home probably.
no, I don't have a guitar.
Just get one. You can just pick one up off the street.
Send a guitar to Comedy or Worse at gmail.com. Somehow send it through the email.
Somebody watching this podcast right now is
if you have a guitar you want to send me, email me, comedyworse@gmail.com. I'll send you my address. Then you send me a guitar, and then I'll have a guitar.
You just plan the pickup spot. Everybody, there's so many people that are hanging.
Oh, I mean, I just imagine that people all over the world listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 people in Australia, 1 person in.
Is that real?
I don't know.
You can check those stats.
I haven't checked in a while. I have 90 subscribers on YouTube, and that's a brand new channel just for comedy.
So it has one AI generated video on it?
No. My comedy channel, Comedy or Worse, doesn't have any subscribers, so I haven't really advertised that yet. What I want to do is like put all the back episodes of the podcast, just have its own feed. I'll probably put it on both channels.
Yeah, good idea.
But
There's a word for that, I'm sure, in the marketing world. Like cross promotion, synergy. Yeah. Oh yeah, when you post the same thing twice and get double hits.
Yeah, you split your audience. I mean, why not? Don't want to confuse anybody.
So people don't like changing platforms. You got to put it on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts.
Well, I mean, through Spotify, it goes to 7 different ones.
Yeah.
It goes to Apple, I think Google.
Oh, I didn't realize that if you publish it to Spotify, it'll get picked up by the Apple Podcasts app.
Well, because they know what they're doing.
Let's talk tech.
They know what they're doing in the back end.
Yeah. Like, we wanted to have as much content on our surface as possible because that's what earns ad revenue for us.
Exactly. So what was your earliest memory?
My earliest memory is emerging from my mother's vagina and being spanked by a doctor, mercilessly, a sadistic doctor, just wanted to have me cry all the water out of my lungs.
Wow.
It's a horrible curse to be able to remember everything all the way back to the origin of your life.
That explains a lot.
Actually, I have a horrible memory. I can't remember shit. But the booze doesn't help. Or the booze does help with not remembering. I love not remembering.
That's good.
I'm a huge proponent of not remembering. Forgive and
So you
forget.
remember yesterday?
Mainly forget. Earliest memory was probably before yesterday. My earliest memory, like legitimately, not making any jokes, might be when I'm probably 2 years old and I am in one of those sandboxes that looks like a big green turtle. You remember that? The little Tyke's sandbox. It looked like a big green turtle that had a lid that was the turtle shell, and I'm in it, and a little black dog, which I know now as an adult was my dog. His name was Chowder.
Okay.
He's circling the little Tyke's sandbox, barking at me like he's mad at me, and I don't understand why. But also I know that as long as I stay in the sand, he'll never come in and eat me.
Huh.
Why would that be the first thing that I remember? What does that say about my psyche?
Because you remember things that are either like really happy or really traumatic or scary or something.
I'm not scared of dogs, but I think in that moment I was scared of that dog.
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder why the dog was acting that way.
I don't know, sometimes I think a dog just gets a wild hair and it's just like, I've got a feeling.
He was so happy. He was just barking and he thought it was bad. And he's like,
what I
we're
wonder
having
though,
the best time right now.
about memories is like, is that just a dream that I had? Did I make that memory up? Because that's
I don't know.
baby.
I do know that if you have like an early photo, like a photo,
Yeah.
and then it's not like a photo took it and then it was hidden away, and then I'm saying like I remember I have a photo that was me riding this little tricycle around, and I remember that, and partially it's because of the photo. Because when you're a little bit older and you're able to actually have memories, your mom's like, oh, this is you a year ago, and then you remember things better because now you can form memories and you have the photo to go off of.
I wonder though whether you are remembering it better, like, oh, I'm accessing these neurons that were buried deep in my mind, or whether you're just creating that memory
Just probably creating
as you see it. Like, I have that
filling in the details.
all the time. Like, there was a radio lab I listened to that talks about memory, and that every time you remember something that happened in your life, you're not just accessing old neurons that fire and they're telling you what you remember perfectly. You're basically recreating the memory every time you think about it.
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't remember stuff, because
Never.
It's just
Ever.
it's just making it worse. You're remembering less details about it.
If you
Remembering
have
stuff wrong.
a traumatic memory, you'll go back over that memory in rumination over and over again, gradually making the memory of the actual event worse and worse until it's just the worst possible thing that could have happened to you. I don't know. I'm trying not to remember as much. I'm trying to be here in the moment.
Yeah, but here in the moment you're remembering what just happened. You can't help yourself.
Don't tell me what's happening inside my mind. I'm a blank slate. I'm the uncarved block. Come at me. What do you got? What's your next question?
What's the biggest audience you've performed for?
It's at your show. It's at your show.
Oh my god, how embarrassing.
It might be at Mic Drop.
Okay, mic drop, yeah.
I think I performed at Mic Drop for an audience of maybe 30 people.
Okay.
To me, that's big. That's big enough. Like, I'm able to commune with 30 people.
Yeah, you're like, people in the back, you have to leave. There's too many people here.
I can see everyone smiling or frowning. What you've played a lot of shows. What's the biggest show you played?
Probably packed house at American Comedy Company.
Holy shit, that's a
It's an
validating
open
moment.
mic, so it's only 3 minutes, but what are you gonna do?
How many people do you think they cram in there?
200.
That's a lot. That's a fucking lot of people.
50, 60 of them are comics, so
Oh,
they
okay.
don't count.
Only 150 civilians.
Yeah.
That's a
The best
big
is
show.
when like 5 of the comics are outside. They get 5 regular people, more
happens
regular
all the
people
time.
in. That's the best.
Have you ever gotten just a crowd just fucking rolling, just crazy laughing?
I have my moments. It's hard to tell if everybody's laughing. I mean, I've been told that, oh yeah, most of the audience was laughing or whatever. When you record it and listen back, the sound is all, unless you have the audience mic, the sound is always less than, the crowd sound, the crowd's laughing is always less. Because that's just the way sound recordings work.
Every time I've ever heard a recording from like a room like Quantum, like, wow, I listen to it back and I'm like, could the people in the room hear the fuck what I was saying? Because on this recording, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I can't hear the comic at all.
Oh wow.
It's weird. Like the acoustics or something are so bizarre.
Yeah, you're gonna have the camera closer, I guess.
Yeah, something like that.
Exactly. So do you do any other type of art?
I do a little bit of everything. No, I'm not a master of anything. I like fuck around with a lot of different stuff. I paint abstract stuff. I can't paint forms. I can't do a portrait. I can't like make a still life or anything. But I like to draw.
Okay.
I got pictures in my mind that I want to like make into something. I'll do that. But my main honestly, the main thing that I do creatively, I know I've only been playing at it for 8 months, is make jokes. That's what appeals to me. I really enjoy the feedback loop, talking to an audience and the audience talking back. It suits my personality style.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
What about you? You paint or anything?
I used to do some art in college when I was taking art classes, but it takes a lot of effort to make it even close to what is in your mind.
Yeah, you got to spend a lifetime.
Yeah, so I just
like making your wrist do what's in your brain. That's hard work.
yeah. There's tricks, obviously. People know some of the tricks. Or maybe the people know all the tricks. What definitely started to help is like, oh yeah, turn the object upside down. You know, that's a trick. You turn it upside down, it's easier to draw the lines.
Oh, interesting. Like like when you're trying to see something through your vision, our vision is so powerful. It's like a little bit seeing everything from every angle. It knows what that looks like. It knows what a rectangle looks like from here or there. But if you turn it upside down, it's like, oh, well, what is this foreign landscape? I can just draw this straight to the page.
Yeah, it definitely helped. Then after you do that a while, you can actually like go and like draw it and then like look at it and it's like, okay, is that the right angle? You know, I don't know. It's a lot of work. I just didn't pursue art because it's like, I think also like a lot of people can tell if they're good at something. And I was like,
Yep.
oh yeah, I think because it takes me so long, you know, it takes so much effort, I don't feel like I'm good at it.
Like if it was gonna come natural, it would have come natural, and I'm like, oh, I'm flowing, I'm in the flow state, I'm making the thing that I wanted to make, I'm happy with this, or I'm unhappy with this in a way that makes me happy, and then you just continue doing it. I feel that same way. Like if my body and mind wanted to pursue this thing, it would. And so if it's not gravitating toward it, I'll just let it go.
Yeah, I mean, I've like designed my own merch, but at first what I did is I took pretzels and I spelled out letters in the alphabet and I took pictures of it. And then I, each letter, and then I had a file and I put them together. And that worked okay, but I wasn't really good at photography. So, the lighting, it didn't look as good as I wanted it to. I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll have it green and I'll be able to take out the green. But because of the lighting and the shadows, it's like, it was difficult. So this version, these are all clip art.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's done with clip art now. These are all pretzels. It says a lot of good pretzel. Have you ever had an
All the letters are pretzels?
Yeah, they're really twisted. All the letters are pretzels. It's hard to show.
It's hard to see on the shoe.
It's like too small.
It's like 2 pixels per inch.
Yeah, I'll probably redesign that. Like only like the last line really is readable even.
All the text is readable. I'm just surprised that they're pretzels. Because to me, it just looks like brown text that's kind of wiggly.
Yeah. One day it will be perfect. Not today. Okay, that's other art. So you said where you grew up, right?
New Jersey, yeah.
Yeah. Would you ever do a character on stage?
I have. I've done improv. Have you played around with improv? You've done characters.
Yeah, I haven't. I want to do more improv. I want to take classes, but
the classes are great.
Time and money and time, and finding the right group and all that.
It's a weird scene. Like it feels to me like so much of the improv scene is propping itself up. Like, yeah, come and do a class, do an improv class. It's 6 weeks. You come for Thursday night. You give us $200, which seems like a reasonable amount of money to pay for 6 hour-long classes. with whatever 20 other people, and then you go and see the shows at the Improv Theater, and the audience is made up entirely almost of other improvs. But that's what stand-up's like too.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, guess who likes to see comedy? Comedians. Like, people who like comedy, people who like to laugh. So there's nothing wrong with it, but it gets weirdly like culty sometimes. The improv people are really serious about their craft. I did like 3
Stop stealing the scene.
Oh my god,
your group.
He was chewing up the scene and he completely no-butted me. Yeah. It was a good time.
Yeah.
It was a little nerve-wracking. I like stand-up a lot more. At least I know what I'm gonna say.
Would you ever go on stage with another comic?
If we knew what we were doing, I think I could do sketch comfortably.
Okay.
Improv is like way too thumb in the wind. Like, relying on myself to be funny is hard enough. Relying on another person to also be funny, or 4 other people to be funny, is like really nerve-wracking.
I have lots of ideas, but one of the ideas for a sketch is it's like an ad for Quantum Brewing, where when there's a lot of people there, it's like, okay, we're gonna do an ad. So a comic, maybe me, just because I'll just say a punchline, and then everybody is gonna laugh like a lot.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
To make it seem like it's funner than it is.
Okay.
Is that a good ad?
No, that's a terrible ad.
God damn it! Why is that a bad ad? But you're not gonna know that it was fake.
All right, so we just get somebody up there, say a punchline. This seems like maybe a scheme to just get a bunch of people to laugh at your punchline, which is fine.
What?
That's what we all want.
It's supposed to be.
It's an advertisement. It's a commercial. We want to show that when you come to Quantum Brewing to see the show, everyone has an uproarious time, which is not true.
Everybody knows that ads are fake. What's the problem?
You're filming the audience. You're filming like one lady who's just like losing her shit. She's like falling out of her chair.
Or maybe it'll be the anti-ad. It'll be like someone just thinking that they're killing, and it's like, look at the audience, no one's laughing.
I think that's more funny. Is to have an ad where you show somebody doing their best possible material, and the audience is just like, not tonight, not for you, Satan.
Exactly. We'll film it both ways and see which ad gets the most likes.
Do you know what I just learned about movies?
What's that?
Do you know the movie American Psycho?
Yeah? I'm scared now. Don't look at him.
The movie American Psycho, it's a...
Did your dad print the business cards for
It's
it?
a classic. Yeah, the bone business cards. That, Willem Dafoe's in that movie, and he's playing the detective who's hunting the killer. And he's interviewing the killer at multiple times throughout the movie. That the director had Willem Dafoe do each of those scenes in 3 different ways. One where he's completely oblivious and doesn't know that the guy is the killer at all, and he's just like going through the rigmarole, going through the motions. One where he's like kind of suspicious of the guy, like maybe you did it. And the third one where he's like absolutely fucking sure that he knows that the main character, Patrick Bateman, is the killer. The director filmed Willem Dafoe doing each of those scenes in incomplete. One oblivious scene, one suspicious scene, and one absolutely sure scene, and then chopped them all up in the editing bay to make like a completely unnerving performance from Willem Dafoe. And it's so good. Like I had never put it together, but I knew from watching the movie so many times that like his character was so spooky and unnerving. Like I didn't know what this guy was thinking. And it's because of that awesome directing move.
Yeah, and that's some good editing too, because you just triple the amount of takes you have to do.
Well, I mean, fucking, it's never like you ever get it in one take. Kubrick used to make Shelley Duvall do shit like 69 times before he would let her go to sleep.
Yeah, but yeah, because if you have an idea, we're gonna do this in 3 different ways, it's not like you just did it 3 times, right? You'd have to do it three times as many times.
No, truly, yeah. I'm sure that Willem Dafoe did those scenes like 9 times each because that's how fucking making movies goes.
It was probably all on film.
He was there all day long. You could see his beard grow in throughout the day.
Yeah, they had to make up, and it was actually someone shaving it.
Yeah.
But don't shave too close, remember, because it's later in the day. And then the makeup would put it just the right amount of.
They'd shave him clean, baby faced,
Yeah,
and then like stipple it.
Then you know how much makeup to apply. Exactly. I'm so glad we figured this out.
I'm so glad that you let me talk about movies for 2 seconds there.
What's your favorite comedy?
My favorite comedy movie? My favorite comedy anything?
Favorite comedy movies, since we're talking about movies.
Monty Python's Holy Grail.
Okay. Did you see the sequel?
What was that? Wait a minute. What was that shit? Was there a sequel to Holy Grail? You're fucking with me.
Oh my god. You just saw the look on your face.
No, Aaron, I have not seen the sequel to Holy
You
Grail.
just like looked at me like, what the fuck?
Like, how dare you reveal
How-
this information to me?
How did that happen? What I did is for a minute there, I pulled you into an alternate universe where there was a sequel. But then we quickly jumped out of it. I'm sorry.
I was so hopeful that in that moment, like, there's a Holy Grail 2. I was ready to believe.
Yeah, but it was a play.
Oh, yeah, no, I heard Spamalot.
I don't know. Just making stuff up.
I know
Sorry.
they did it as a play for a minute.
Maybe that is the
On
play.
Broadway.
But I don't know. I don't know why that was so funny.
I loved Holy Grail. What, did you not like it? Are you not a Monty Python fan?
I want to do Silly Walks, but someone already did it, so I feel like I can't do it.
How high can you kick your leg right now? Prove it for the camera. I'm gonna do it.
See, I gotta. Oh my god! I used to be able to run and jump onto a 6-foot unicycle, but that was a long time ago. That was in my 20s.
That's straight
I
up
cannot do it
athletic.
anymore. I know. I used to be able to.
Is somebody holding up the 6-foot
No.
unicycle?
I don't even know how I did it. Like I
The seat is 6
I
feet.
knew how to ride the unicycle. You know, if you know how to ride a regular unicycle, you can ride a 6-foot unicycle. It's just way more dangerous.
Yeah, but jumping onto one means you have to jump 6 feet in the air.
Well, we don't have the right camera angle.
Aaron, show me that you can jump 6 feet in the
You
air.
have it like that, like the wheel would be over there, and you would run. Yeah,
You
it took
didn't
a
even get
while.
both feet off the ground.
Well, because it's like me trying to show you how to pole vault without a pole.
All right,
Like,
so
come on.
there's something that you latch onto, that you grab onto with your hands when you're leaping up onto this unicycle. You're not just
Well,
jumping
the
straight
pedals.
into the air.
The pedals.
Right. So you run up to the unicycle. It's standing somehow on one wheel.
No. It's at an angle. Did I not? I wasn't doing good prop work. Imagine. I was
This is why
doing
you'll
good
never do
lead.
improv.
The wheel was way over there, and you.
Where's the seat?
I'm holding the seat.
You're holding it.
Hey, you have to hold the seat,
Okay, you're holding the seat.
and you go up.
You run. You jump.
You jump on
You
one
leap
pedal,
your ass up onto the seat.
and you go. It's hard to explain without a diagram or actually. I should have got videos of it.
I'm gonna need a CAD diagram of how this works physically.
And then, like, I didn't ride for a while, and then I couldn't do it anymore because I got older and lost my stretchability, whatever you call that, limberness.
No, that's correct. It's the stretchability. I'm a physiologist. I know all the words.
Anyway,
Like, what did your hips go?
mostly like the legs. You have to be able to like almost do the splits to be able to do that.
I don't know. It's such a specific talent. Like only you. You're the only person that I would know that would know what
Well,
exact
I mean,
muscles and
like,
stretchabilities you need.
before today, you didn't know I rode a unicycle, so you never know who's gonna ride a unicycle.
You said it in your act, and I didn't believe that you actually did it.
Oh, that one joke about you didn't believe me? Oh my god. A percentage of the things I say are true.
Is the pretzel girl real?
No, I started actually this thing where I'm like telling a joke, and then I'm telling this real story behind
No,
the
I
joke.
dig that. That's funny.
So that's fun.
That's good.
And then there's one person that's like, oh, don't do that. You don't need to do that. I'm like, I get it, I don't, but I think it was me in some ways like getting tired of telling the same jokes. And I want to do more personal stuff. So I'm like, oh, as a step, I'll tell a joke and I'll tell the real story behind it.
Yes.
And then in doing it, there's not a lot to tell, so I like start riffing and
Embellishing, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you start, and then third level in, you start telling the story about why you decided to start telling the story about the joke.
Yeah.
And then that becomes your entire act. It's just getting more microscopic.
And then people realize, wait, he only did one joke.
He did one joke, and then he did a deconstruction of the joke and of the joke of the joke. That's not a bad act. That's fine. You could do that for 5 minutes. The audience would be down.
I don't think you could do it for a whole
You
hour.
do full hour.
But there's an intermission, but the intermission really is part of the comedy.
I think
You know it.
Andy Daly might have done that. He might have done like a full, I don't know if it was an hour, probably like a half hour, where he does a joke and then deconstructs it for the rest of his time on stage.
Yeah.
And it's really fucking funny. It's a really clever idea.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad someone already did it, so that means
That
the
absolves
path,
you.
the path is already there.
You don't have to.
The problem is I want to do so many things, and it takes time to do each thing. What's the next thing you want to try doing on stage?
Open heart surgery. Just,
That's not very funny.
you don't know. You
When
don't
the
know.
patient dies, and you get
I
the
go,
real surgeon in.
I make his heart do like a funny beat, like, yeah, that's pretty funny. Next thing I want to try on stage. I don't have anything planned like that. I don't have any there's no like character or anything that I've got in the barrel that I really want to try out. I just, mainly the way I come at doing a 3-minute show, 3-minute open mic set, is like I'll look at my notes and I think of a funny thing every now and then. I smoke marijuana and have like a funny idea.
Wait, what?
And then I had that half of an idea down, and then I'll play with it. I'll walk around my house and like fuck around with the idea for a little while. And it's pretty easy to put together 3 minutes of talking that might have the opportunity to be humorous.
Yeah.
And then I try it and I find out that it's not. And that's fine. That's good intel.
Sure, absolutely.
Nice.
Never think, oh, I just gotta try it again? Because you should try it, jokes at different places.
I know.
And not just throw it away.
I know, it just feels so weird to me.
Jokes.
Like it's so easy for me to like, oh, I thought this was funny to talk about for 3 minutes, to bring it to an audience and they're like, that's not funny. I'll take that to heart. Like, oh, this one audience didn't think it was funny. I'm gonna try something completely different.
Let me
this time.
see your jokes. I can make it fun.
All right, break out my notes. Aaron, fix my jokes. I have like a weird hang up about doing the same jokes twice. And I know that that's just a beginner's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like,
Hopefully you'll get over it.
you got to, or else you're out. Eventually, you're out of jokes and you're done trying
Well, I
comedy
mean,
at all.
you in theory, you could always come up with new jokes. It's just you're gonna end up repeating yourself without even knowing it.
The jokes will never evolve. They'll never get better.
Yeah.
They'll always just be those first try jokes.
Yeah, like the pretzel joke. You think I had all those puns? You know that I came up with a new pun. Well, someone
I'm
helped
sure
me.
you do all the time.
Someone helped me, but you want to hear it?
Yeah. Do the new line.
So this is towards the end.
You have it dated and everything.
Because of that pretzel joke, people think I love pretzels. Well, I'm not going to lie, but they're not crummy. has 2 puns in it
Because of the lie?
yeah, in Germany.
Because they use dog fat to cook their pretzels?
Yeah, in Germany they do. That's what the opera singer guy said. I'm trying to remember.
Oh my god, I love him. What the fuck is his name?
We have his name, it's just not coming. Memory's weird.
Have him on the podcast. I want to know more about that man.
Yeah. Now I'm so embarrassed. I hope he watches this, but is forgiving that we forgot his name. So Margaret Starr is the opera singer. It's not her. It's obviously a guy. It's not. There's another comic that I know is I don't know. I'm just gonna start saying comics names that it's not just to stall.
Let's just go through all the comics that it's not. It's not Randy. It's not Jake from Platt.
But the funny thing was that I thought that was a good list to look at. I'm sure if I see his name, I would remember it. You know, like, oh, that's him.
He doesn't just put himself down as opera man.
No, thank God.
I've never seen him do the same thing twice, but I'm sure he
See,
must.
I was like, it's not that guy's name, but I was like, when I was trying to I'll say that name and then maybe that will help me get to his name.
I was doing a bit one time.
But
I was at
that didn't help.
mic drop, and I had this thing in mind where I was going to prove how bad AI was at writing comedy, and I asked the audience for a suggestion, like in improv, and he was there in the audience, and his suggestion was the Met Gala. Jesus, and then I don't know. That was the funniest.
Some of his references, oh my God, sorry, I just don't get it.
He's from a different planet. I love him.
Yeah. I hope he's flattered that we're spending so much time trying to remember.
We're trying to find your name because we love you so much. But your name is probably just some white guy's name, right? Like Dan?
I feel like now what's happened is I almost had his name in my head.
Mark?
And now it's just going further and further. It's so obvious now. Thomas Lokenskar.
Oh my God. My mind just
You can see
ripped
why
wide
You
open.
can see why that other name, I was like, for some reason, even though it was not even the same first name.
Tommy, Loki, Logo. My man.
Yeah. Oops, that's the wrong.
He's the one who told you that they use lye to make pretzels in Germany, and that's what inspired you to have that bit.
Well, it took a while, but then I was like, I'm gonna try to do another. I don't know. Sometimes I actually have intention to write something and it comes to me. Other times it just pops in my head. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta write it down.
Like you're just sitting there concentrating, squeezing your cerebrum so hard, give me another pretzel pun.
Yeah, well really the goal is to write a whole other joke that's not about pretzels. I attempted, I had a skateboard joke.
Oh yeah, you can skate on that one. I know that one.
Yeah, I was playing with that, and there was a girl at the sandwich shop, and I was like, oh, comedy comes in threes, might as well do 3. In the intro, it'd be like, I figured out that I hit on girls using puns, so then it's 1 group of puns, 2 groups of puns, 3 group of puns.
Yeah, that's a good set.
But just the pretzel one is just so good, it's hard to
and you've built your whole merch around it.
Yeah, Comedy or Worse has the letters in pretzels, or at least some of them.
It also has a camera in there.
Yeah, for it's fun.
there might be a photography element of Comedy or Worse. But
Yeah, the merch itself.
I guess so. Hello.
Yeah, we're gonna record the comedy, or else you forget what you did.
I have to get better at that. I have to get fine with saying the same.
Just
joke
have
twice.
someone else record it. I mean, have someone else listen back to it.
Wait, have somebody else do my set. have somebody else go up with my notes, like do my jokes.
I want to do it.
I told my girlfriend that she, every now and then she gets really hammered and she writes down jokes and she's like, I'm gonna do jokes one day. Like, bitch, prove it. Like, if you don't do those jokes, I'm gonna steal your set and I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm such a whore. I fuck everybody in town. I'm just gonna do her jokes.
She wrote that joke?
I get extremely drunk and I forget exactly what I did. She does it way better than I do, but I will steal her jokes and do them badly if she doesn't get up and do them soon.
You hear that?
Get up and do your jokes.
That's a threat. No wonder she comes a lot.
She wants to joke.
Yeah, so should I just put...
You should put her
name?
I'm gonna put her name down, and then you're gonna call her up, and she's gonna have no choice but to get up on stage and
That's
do it.
That's a tradition.
Eric's been goading her too.
Oh my God, yeah. There's been... I don't think we've called anybody up that hasn't gone up.
Oh, you've never called a dead name? Like,
Well,
oh,
I mean,
this person
I might
just left.
actually call it a dead name. Well, I mean, occasionally I'll be like, well, there's a new comic, and like, I'm just gonna say their name because there's people in the audience I don't recognize, you know, and,
Yeah.
but I mean that, like, there has not been someone that was there that I say,
That
says their name that doesn't go up.
Okay.
Sometimes people say, oh, taking off the list, and then, you know, we take them off the list.
You never called somebody and they were like, I'm too scared, I can't do it,
No,
I've
I
gotta
don't think
leave.
so. I think they usually let the host or me, or sometimes the host, so that'd be the same person, know that they're not gonna go up, they call their name, so don't you do it now that I've told you that.
Don't be the first,
Yeah,
just for the sake of being the first.
yeah, and then be like, oh, can I go on now? Because now that I've done the thing, now I can do it.
Ugh. You never called somebody to be the first person to go on stage and they were like, I can't possibly be
No,
the
I
first
try to
person
like
do jokes.
check with them. What happened on Friday, this last Friday, was not good. That I put two newer comics that I was like, I don't know how good they're gonna do in a row, and the regular people like all left. Like,
Oh,
I went to
shit.
the table. It sucked. And I was like, fuck.
Wait.
I was trying to get better comics to go.
You put up
soon.
two unknowns and they both kind of bombed.
Yeah.
And then the regular folks were like,
people,
I gotta
they just-
go.
They just left. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. So I knew after I did it, I was like, as I was doing it, I'm like, oh man. And I should have just insisted. There was a comic I was trying to get to go up earlier, and he was like, oh, I'm not. And I was just like, okay, what I need to do. So no, you're here. We need you to go in between these people.
That's one of those very specific skills that you only get from running shows, is like, oh, well, if I put people up like this, then other people might leave.
There's times where I'm just being too nice, and I for a little while I was like, the order is, you know, whatever I say it is, not the way you signed up. And then I was like being more lax about it, going, okay, well, you came before the other people. It would be better a show if this other person goes up, but I'm just letting people go in more like the order that they came, and then like the show suffers.
Yeah,
So
and then
I
the
had to go back to actually, you know, putting the order up that's best for the show.
The show suffers, and then people, civilians stop going to the show, comedians stop going to the show dies. That's not good for anybody.
Yeah.
You have to game the list a little bit. If the list seems rigged, it probably is, like, a little
Well,
bit.
this list isn't.
Not even
this
yours,
list
but like-
isn't rigged, because rigged implies that you're pretending like there's some fair
It's
order.
random.
Yeah.
Oh, we just pulling names out of a hat. American comedy comedians. Good for you. Like, wow, all the good comedians got pulled out of that fucking hat. Nice.
There's a few that are random. I don't know. All I know is I get up there. I love that club. I get up there enough to not complain. So that's all
I
we need
would
to know.
never accuse the American Comedy Company of rigging the hat.
No, I'm talking hypothetical because it's the best mic in town. So that's the one you would want to rig. That's all he's saying.
That's the one you want rigged.
Yeah, that's all he's saying.
What's on your bracelet?
Oh, it's a new bracelet. It was,
Four. It says, puta, 4 pretzels.
yeah, Bella made that for me last night. That was funny. I was like, oh, I like it enough. I guess I'll wear it again. I wore it last night after she gave it to me. That's the.
I don't know Bella.
Oh, well, you gotta go to her and Naz's open mic, which is on Mondays at Camels.
Camels? I don't know that place. Where's that?
Okay. You have to Google it. I don't. Camels, yeah.
What's special about their show?
It's on Mondays, and then you'll meet Bella.
But
It's
Eric's
like
show is also on Mondays. The EA Comedy over at El Cid.
Well, the thing is, you could probably do both. If you ever forget to sign up for Sid, then you just go over to Camels.
Camels Bar and Grill.
Do you ever go to Space Bar?
Space Bar's right after EA Comedy
You
at
go
El
to
Cid.
Space Bar.
Yeah, Space Bar's right in my neighborhood. I can bike to that easy.
That's right.
Just don't even have to crash and die on my way home. Friars Road. I can't get there by bike. I'll check it out.
Okay. Would you ever try to get on Kill Tony?
Would I ever try to kill Tony?
No. There's a show called Kill Tony. It's very popular. Would you ever try to get on it?
I need you to. I'm sorry. No, the answer is no, because I don't
No.
understand. I need you to explain
So
to me
Kill
what is Kill
Tony
Tony.
is where there's a bucket, you get pulled, you do 1 minute of comedy, and then they interview you, and they roast you and stuff too.
That seems. Who roasts me?
The crew, Tony Hinchcliffe and Red Band and the guest.
Where is this?
It used to be in LA, but now it's in Austin.
This is
At the Comedy Mothership.
This is a big deal show. I'm so far away from that. I'm not even
But
going to
they-
think about that.
The new people go up there.
Really? Okay. That's it. To roast a new comedian seems like premature.
I went on it 14 months in. It was fun.
How was your experience? Did you feel
I did good and I had
roasted?
good- Oh yeah, but it was all good fun. It was fun to get roasted.
Oh, I bet. I feel like to be roasted, you as an artist really need to feel like you've earned it. Like I put the hours in, I put in the work to be worth roasting at all. 14 months in, you've been doing comedy for 14 months and you got roasted.
Well, yeah. There's people that they go up their first time and they do good or bad and they get roasted and they just sometimes get to go again. I don't know.
I wouldn't feel right getting roasted at my level. I would feel like, why are you done? Why is everyone paying attention to me?
They're not just talking about your comedy. It's like they're gonna be like, what are you wearing?
They're making fun of my dress.
Yeah. You call it a dress or a kilt?
It's whatever. It's a kilt. It's a dress. It's a skirt. Like people call it all kinds of things. I don't care.
Okay. That's good to know.
Kill Tony. It's in Austin now.
Yeah.
I have to check it out.
Yeah, for sure. It's fun. And sometimes there's comics that get up, have good sets, hopefully. Yeah. Anyway, what's the worst thing about comedy right now?
The worst thing about comedy? I'm hard pressed. I think comedy's great. I don't think there's anything wrong with comedy. I think comedy is fine. Comedy's doing all right. The worst thing about comedy, like 3 months ago, was that there was for some reason there was like a die-off of mics. There was only like a couple of open mics where you could go to perform, And then they rose back up from the ashes like a phoenix. They are just like, open mics started all up again. I was right, and this is right when I was like trying to like spread my wings for the first time. It's like I watched there being a show by Josh Merkel over at Thorn Street Brewing and your show and an open mic at Mic Drop that was accessible, that you could actually get on stage, and of course all the big time stuff like American Comedy Co. and this spot, and then slowly there was like a little die off. Like, oh, maybe this is like a no comedy season. Like, all right, I picked the wrong time to try to get into it, but then it's back. So the worst thing about comedy for me for a moment was the limited opportunities to do it. Right? But I don't think there's anything like, what would people say to this? Well, people are too woke these days.
No, fuck that. That's not what we want to talk about. The worst thing about comedy is going to a show or open mic and there's no audience. So everybody go see comedy. So go see live comedy in your area, especially, or it doesn't have to be in your area. If you're traveling, go see comedy. Don't just go to dinner. You can go to dinner anywhere.
You can eat almost anywhere. Can you laugh almost anywhere? No.
No, you can't.
There are so many good fucking comedy opportunities in San Diego for people that like want to do it themselves or just like want to laugh. I subscribe to the Don't Tell list. They've got a show like 3 nights a week. There's open mics everywhere. There's good comedy shows on Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. Say what?
I'd love to get booked at Don't Tell.
That would be amazing. Yeah, that would be like, oh, have you been to the Adams Ave Theater comedy show that they do once a month now?
No.
What's his name? Alex Petit and McKay Bushnell. They put on a show there once a month, free show. You just go on Eventbrite and you're like book 2 or 4 or whatever, however many tickets you need for butts and seats. Free show, you show up, they got a bar, you can bring in food from the Mediterranean place next door. Good comedians, they're pulling comedians like from all over, it's not just local stuff, like high quality shit.
I'd like to get the booked on that as well.
You should get booked on that.
Oh yeah, I'll just put it on my
calendar. Just call McKay.
Oh wow, look,
McKay,
I'm
it's your
booked on
cousin.
somehow.
Marvin Bushnell?
Oh, I guess somehow I made a mistake and he told me I can't book myself. Oh, man.
Just get on there slotted. Just find the link to their slotted and just put yourself on there.
He's probably not using slotted for it.
No.
And if they are, it's a private list.
It's a good show.
Don't tell me.
I love that show because I live in Normal Heights, so I could just go there on the night, the one Thursday a month that it happens. I just walk down there. I'm hammered, obviously, and I laugh at jokes, and then I walk home and get an ice cream cone. It's a really good time.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. I will try to do that. So,
Check it out.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I'm solid. How long have we been sitting here? Has it been an
That's-
hour?
That's been, it's going on. It's over an hour and a half,
Holy shit.
but that's okay. It's not like we did anything wrong.
I'm sorry, everybody.
I hope the sound was okay. I'm sorry.
I'm sure the sounds.
How do people get a hold of you, or how can people follow you on social media?
I don't do that. I don't like social media. I feel like it's a trap. It's a trick for me to get my life force sucked out of me. So I don't do that. Social media, you can try to follow me on internet. Just try, goddammit, I dare you.
There you go. That's your challenge.
Good luck. If you ever want to see me again, you're just gonna have to come to Aaron's shit because I'll be there for stuff.
Yeah, go see live comedy in San Diego.
Go see live comedy, please.
Go to a show, see Art Bath, and then drag him to another show
And
he
then
hasn't gone to.
you want to see me at another show? Good luck.
Yeah, you're gonna have the best luck. I believe.
I told you I'm not ambitious, and this is exactly the level that I want to be at. I want to hang out like on this level.
Oh no, I just always ask everybody the same questions. It's not like you have to have, not like I'm gonna force you to. I mean, I could look up what I could
That's
look
good.
up what your Instagram is and just tell everybody, but
It doesn't matter. There's nothing on there. What other things do you need to plug for the end of the show? Like, you gotta plug the Instagram. You gotta plug the.
oh no, it already is in the description. Look for the description. It's easy too. It's comedy or worse it's at comedy or worse. Come on, whether the Instagram you're gonna use. If I couldn't have gotten comedy or worse, then I would have had to change the name of the podcast.
Comedy or Worse 69 on Instagram.
It's also comedy or worse at Gmail.
What's your
It's
Venmo?
Comedy. Oh, that's Aaron Makes Me Laugh. Can't have more than one Venmo. Go to the same account, banking account. I guess I could have a separate Venmo for a separate bank account.
Yes.
But that might be fun.
Let's see who gets more money.
Yeah. Oh, this is for the show. This is for something.
Oh, I see. People like the show better than they like me. I get it.
Why? I didn't make you laugh. Aaron made you laugh? No.
Oh, what's Alex, who runs the show at Adams Ave Theater.
Put a good word in for me.
I'm gonna put, yeah, I don't know him, but I do know that his Venmo is Alex Isn't Funny, which I think is the funniest Venmo handle you can have.
Well, that's also his Instagram.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, you want to keep a similar brand across platforms.
Yeah, the only one you can't change is Reddit. You can't change what it is. So you can't
Commit.
triple X on there. That's what it was. That's what it is. Are you gonna go to the Yellow Door open mic?
Where's that?
Well, the sign-ups are gonna start real soon.
Right here?
It's on 5th Avenue.
Yellow Door. Wow. Is that inside of a different club, or is that the name of the club?
It's inside, it's the second floor of Mr. Tiempo. They have their own
Oh,
door now.
yeah, okay. I know
It's
them.
in a theater that, they converted a theater to a comedy club.
Is that what you're doing right now?
Yeah, after this, I'm gonna go put my name in, and then I'm gonna screw around until the show starts. Or, the show is gonna start, or maybe I'll watch the show and then open mics afterwards. So at 8 o'clock, comedy show, so 9:30, 10 o'clock, then open mic.
That's an amazing commitment, man. That's like, you do comedy every night of your life.
I try, sometimes more than one. I think the most I've done is 4 times in the night.
Do you
It was a Tuesday.
make time to do nothing, to not be doing comedy specifically?
Well, yeah, it takes me time to go to bed. It takes me time to wake up. So that's definitely. It takes me time to watch a show, to play video games. It takes time to scroll on see what other people are doing.
To do all the work you do to like promote yourself, promote your shows. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really having to do it every day because all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, it's Wednesday. I haven't even posted anything. That sometimes that happens. So being better about doing that. Like I started doing it on Sunday, so that was good.
Consistency weirdly matters in posting content. It's like, if people can rely that you're gonna post something on a regular basis, like it helps them see it. It helps it get spread around.
Yeah, I did a skit where I was trying to get people to send me money through Venmo. It has 15 likes and no money through Venmo. So it's a funny skit. I'm not joking.
Send Aaron money.
Send money. You can watch the skit and then if you liked it, send me money. There you go.
No, I was planning on after this, I'm just gonna go eat dinner, gonna go eat French fries or some shit.
He's gonna eat French fries for dinner.
When did you eat dinner already?
No, I'm gonna go put my name on the list and then I'll eat something.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Okay. Say goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.
This has been comedy or worse.